This matter was argued before us last week over a period of 2 days, and we reserved a judgment until today. This court has carefully considered the weighty arguments advanced by the parties in the limited time available given the urgency of the matter. There are 3 judgments. The first judgment concludes, for reasons set out therein, that the President has not made out a case for an interim interdict. It proposes that the application be dismissed. The second judgment concludes that the President has made out a case for an interim interdict for the reasons set out in that judgment. It proposes that an interdict of limited duration be granted. The third judgment concurs with the second judgment. The second judgment is the majority judgment. In the result, the following order is made. 1. Pending the determination by this court of the applicant's review under case number 2026/119192, the first and second respondents are interdicted from proceeding with the public impeachment hearings in terms of Rule 129 capital M of the National Assembly Rules. 2. The cost of the application shall stand over for determination by the court which hears the review. The judgment will be made available on case lines and safely shortly after we adjourn this court. That is our judgment, and we will then adjourn. Court adjourns.
Okay. On the 11th of November 2001, I was sitting in my lounge in Diepkloof with a director who comes to with a director from New York, because he used to come to South Africa and he chose a couple of people and he would meet with each of them every 10 years, and he put together a show called Who's Gonna Take the Weight, and he followed young people by seeing them every decade, black kids in America, and somehow connecting it to black kids in South Africa, and I happen to be one of them. And so on the 11th of September 2001 was one of those decades where Alonzo had come to South Africa, and we were sitting in my lounge at 165 Diepkloof Extension, Phase 1. And we were sitting with TV playing in the background. And I still remember where I was sitting looking at Alonzo and looking at him, and then I just saw an expression on his face because I was busy talking along and he had just blanked out and was not listening to me. And so I turned to him and I turned to see, why has he got this deadpan face, shock face, and he was looking at the TV. and it's because the TV was showing a plane flying into one of the twin towers. It was 9/11, and so he immediately just put up the volume, and or however they say it, and I turned the volume up. But because of what just happened on that TV screen, I still remember Alonso's face, where we were sitting, what happened, because of what happened on TV. For a long time, I will remember exactly where I was sitting when I watched Lekhanj say that 2 out of 3 judges bowed to political pressure and made a ruling, a cowardly ruling in South Africa, by saying we give an interdict up till the review of the next case, and we placed the president's personal comfort above the citizens of South Africa. I will never forget this day when I'm a 70, 90-year-old. I will remember where I was when Justice Lekhanj sat in front of the TV screen and said, South Africans, I want you to know that we don't have the guts not to insult the South African public, and we'll rather play it safe. Now, I am shocked. On the last video, I said I would not be shocked. And of course, they did the little cowardly thing of saying just for 3 months, just until the review. Oh man, I have nothing to say, guys. This is cowardly and pitiful. Remember I was telling you how jobs work? Yeah. We just added 1 million people to the unemployment line with this. This was cowardly, disappointing. We'll find out who's the one judge that had I'm not going to say a spine, because there was not so much pressure, but one judge who has some moral fiber in him. So we'll give a big up to that judge that gave the one. We'll go now and search. And I don't know which of the 2 judges decided to insult South Africans, to insult the South African public by saying, no, we need to protect the president from going to parliament. Wow. Okay, now I'm shocked. Now I say, you never know what South African courts are going to do. I wonder what Concord judges who are watching this are thinking. What are the Concord judges who are watching this thinking? What does Justice Maya think? Is she just watching and thinking, or is she thinking, what? Because you have and the issue of a lower court overturning even a little bit the judgment of a higher court. It's not overturning it, but it's messing with it. It's having a judgment that's inconsistent with it. is so hectic for the whole edifice of the rule of law. So, yeah, I will remember where I was. I will remember what happened. I will remember the expression because I was watching it out there. I will remember her expression as well. Whew! I can't even read your comments. So let's read your comments and be out. Wow. Wow. All right. We move on. The High Court has insulted South Africans. The High Court listened to a case about someone saying it's embarrassing to appear. Wow. Wow. Justice is captured. No justice only for criminals. Yes, it's disgusting, but now we know. We call that judge out. Guide us, Lord. It must be the Indian judge. We should stand up against these criminals. I wish we had. I say it again, people got paid, man. Getting away with it all the time. He has allowed our beautiful country to be invaded. What do you mean? Pay 50 rands to judges and walk out free. What a sick situation. It's absolutely sick. God, the greatest judge, will have the final say. Indeed. This is now the truth exposed. Don't despair. It's a victory, people. In unity, we will change that which we can. The rest I will leave in God's timing. Completely shocking and yet not. Just remember, we felt the same about the Madanga comment. He thought he was shielding himself, and look how it turned out. God will turn this to the good. I cannot begin to tell you how sick my stomach had turned. I'm beginning to hate the sickness of our country. Yeah, the world now knows. What an absolute shock to my trust in our courts. Getting away with murder. Whoever succeed him will be worse, trust me. It's glaringly obvious that judiciary is captured. We don't need Madanga to prove it. We can see it, yeah. The groundswell of anger on the ground is dangerously building up. Shocking judgment. I'll remember my shock. I could only. Let's wait for God's ruling in this matter. I bet anybody this judge is ANC member. Politics rule this country, not the economy. Can they appeal? No, but appealing is going to take longer. It makes no difference now. Those two judges have sold their souls. Our God's disappointment is God's appointment. Cyril may have committed crime, but the man has what it takes. He has some stature in the midst of globalist forces. He can reason with them. Yeah, I smell a rat. Someone's been bought. Nothing surprising here. The South African courts have been doing this for a while. Sure. All in God's time, not ours, Bonsai. Keep the faith. Oh, the faith is kept, but... Yo! It's a sad day in South Africa. So glad I do not need to speak now. I don't have the words to describe my disappointment. One hopes, then hopes a sacrifice on the altar of politics. Bonsai, can you please summarize what this means? It means the courts have played along with Ramaphosa to delay him from appearing before the impeachment committee. So the 2 out of 3 judgments have pretty much told the impeachment committee to stop and wait until And this is not about wanting him to go to impeachment or not, but they literally sacrificed our jurisprudence because a dumb decision like this will normally take, another 10 years, because only when another judgment comes and it fixes the nonsense for the future. So it means impeachment committee paused for 3 months until the elections, because that's of course where Ramaphosa was kicking for touch for, and the court has said, yeah, we'll support you based on, I mean, we have to read those judgments and see how they twisted their heads to say that this is like that. Yes, so Tsehofat, so it just means there will be the impeachment committees placed on hold for 3 months. The whole country needs to pray now for change. Sure. Where do we go from here? Yeah, Lord help us. Yo. No. Mashia Malulek. When you don't understand how laws work, I know I understand exactly how laws work. Presidents account to parliament. So no one is asking for some extra. Anyway, let's not. Shoo. I agree, Pen Labs. Yo, now wait for the damage control. Some judges are also member of Dark Society. That's sounding like a real statement right now. Some people are more equal than others. Thanks for the summary, Bonsai. It's a pleasure. I'm not a fan of Cyril, but lately the man is doing so well, he's trying his best. Like, we really are concerned about Cyril now. Cyril's out of office in 2 years' time, but he's gonna leave us with garbage because this sets precedents for future. You don't know how far-reaching this mess is. This is a far-reaching mess, and I can tell you, as a little investor myself, show me an investor that thinks, oh no, everything's going the right direction in South Africa. And I'll show you an idiot. I'll show you a fool who's going to lose every single cent and go bankrupt. Complete idiot. Or I'll show you a criminal businessman who's going to just capture the state. But ain't no normal moral investor watching this and thinking, oh yeah, things are going in the right direction. Get ready to drive past more shacks by the day. God is in control, Gates. I'm a supply job in the ANC so far from the moment. The ANC is a curse. The ANC is a curse. They can't get voted out by majority because it's local government elections. So, unless you mean in 2029, yes, may this curse get voted out. May die an embarrassing, shameful death. May they end up so insignificant that our grandchildren will even forget their name in Jesus' name. It's so shall it be. They protect one another. Blah, Bonsai, thank you. Well done. We love you. Thanks, John. All presidents subscribe to World Economic Forum public protect. Yeah, let's not even go there. So can he have the applicants taking this judgment on review to the Supreme Court of Appeals? But that defeats. No. They've won. It's done. Because remember, he was fighting for 3 months. So to then appeal an urgent interdict, right? I don't know. I mean, can you go to Supreme Court of Appeals and and lodge an urgent interdict against an urgent interdict? I guess you could, because you could show urgency, but then the urgency is kind of in the clouds. It's to protect, our democratic rights. I guess, yeah, we'd have to ask a legal mind to see if that's possible. But we'll see what Makashulekana and them say. Right now, actually, let's check, actually, because the good thing is, on this one, we don't have to, to fight it alone or be worried about it alone. I can tell you right now, so many people are upset. I can tell you, so many people are upset right now, and it's the courts have really let us down. We're gonna read the judgments and see what kind of nonsense. How did they twist their heads, and what, how they twisted their minds around this to make it make sense. Yeah, so wow. So we'll get to see what others are saying, what the politicians are saying, especially the ones in the impeachment committee. That's why we voted for them, because they must fight for the public. Wow. Anyway, so yeah, no, of course, these things always backfire, and go the right way, but for now, just allow us to be angry, please. We're not throwing in the towel. Wow. Okay. 32 plus years became a disaster with this curse. Yes. The African national curse. Well, the African national curse has done it again, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's close it here. No man can serve two masters. Either you love the one or hate the other, or you'll despise the one and honor the other. You can't serve God and Karl Marx. Let me go find the judgments, do a video. Let's see how these two judges managed to twist their heads around this, and support Ramaphosa's case by making and I mean, they're kind of saying it's just 3 months, but it's 3 months of stupidity, and it's 3 months of compromising our republic. So anyway, let's end it right here. Cheers, guys. We'll see you in the next video. I actually thought after this I would do a Andrea Johnson video, because there's linked to what happened with Andrea Johnson, but no, I think we've gotta talk about this. So we'll see you guys. Sad day in South Africa. What a sad day, man. Let's make history together. But remember this, South Africa will prosper. In fact, this is a prosperous country, and no African national curse formed against us shall prosper. And every tongue that rises up with a rubbish judgment is condemned. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their vindication is of me. South Africa is a prosperous country. Cheers.